Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know y'all haven't heard my voice in a very long time. Yes, you checked right. It's your girl TipTop back with another video after a million years later. Before I get into the video, I just want to thank all of my subscribers who still been holding your girl down, watching my videos, and still commenting on videos. Last time y'all heard from me, I was telling you guys I was moving back home from Georgia, and I'm home now, and I've been kind of getting readjusted to, working again and different environments and stuff. So that's kind of where I've been the last few months. Really trying to get your girl been trying to get her life together, okay? For a moment, I struggled making content for y'all because I just always wanted to make sure whatever quality I'm putting out is actually good quality and not just something I threw together. So a lot of times I would record, do my voiceover, and not really feel the video. And I just feel like that was just fake of me to try to upload a video knowing I didn't really care how it turned out, because I just always want to make sure I give y'all good quality content because that's what we here for, period. So yeah, that's kind of a thing I've been working on getting better at lately. So it's kind of been hard for me to just pick up my camera because y'all know most of the times I record on my phone, but I just got the iPhone, what is it, 14 plus, and for some reason it has issues focusing, and that has really stopped my growth as well from making content because I never liked how the quality of my videos would turn out. And I also got a camera. Y'all know I've been wanting a camera for so long, and I finally got a camera, but the thing doesn't stay charged for a whole full set. And I don't know if it's just my camera, if something's wrong with it, or that's just I gotta always keep backup batteries or something, which I'm pretty sure I know I do, but I just didn't expect that to die so quickly. And so that made me not want to film content either because it wasn't staying on long enough. So I've just been like, whatever. The quality is not the worst. It's okay. I can deal with it. I just want to get back to making videos. Now for today's actual set, I'm doing a Gelx set. So y'all already know I've been practicing Gelx for a little minute now, and I've definitely improved tremendously. I'm still not a pro. However, I would say now I could do a Gelx set comfortably and not freak out. Cause y'all know whenever you're offering a new service or trying to do something new, you hear it and then you automatically start freaking out. It's like, oh my gosh, this is out of the norm for me. So I hope I could, kill this set. But now it's like, okay, you want Gelx? Cool. Let's, let me go ahead and grab my tips and stuff. So I've gotten to that point where I can obviously record a video for y'all to try to show y'all. The only thing with Gelx is these tips are not made the same, y'all. Like, and that's obvious, of course, because it's like that with regular nail tips. But it's just, it really could make or break your whole Gelx set. So I started off with Young Nails Protein Bun as my primer. Some people do a thin layer of the gel on the natural nails cure and then start the process. I don't. Never really saw a difference with or without. So it was the same for me. So I was like, okay, I'd rather just cut out the extra step. The gel I'm using will be in my storefront. This is really the only gel I have used besides Opres. How do y'all say that? Is it Opre? Anyway, y'all know which one I'm talking about. Yeah. And the tips I'm using for this video, I'm pretty sure they're Opera as well. I do like their tips better. However, I haven't tried that many Gelx tips, but I do know that theirs are a little bit more flexible but still sturdy, because I have come across some very, very thin Gelx tips, y'all. I'm talking about, oh my goodness, I've had a Gelx experience from hell before. If y'all want a story time on that, I'll give y'all story time. It's so traumatic. I don't know if I want to talk about it for real, but I'll give y'all story time. But yeah, and then Opera also came out with a 2.0 version of their original tips, and these are more smooth around the cuticle area. So definitely love those. The only thing I would say is sometimes they don't have the double zeros. You have to buy them separately, which is annoying. Um, Another thing is the lengths. Y'all know a lot of times, we get these Instagram clients and they want these extendo nails. I don't know any Gelx tips that come that long. If y'all do, let me know. So if we can get some real, real long Gelx tips, that'll be great. What else? So yeah, I've kind of learned with the Gelx, less is more. Notice how I'm scooping this gel at her free edge. That is to help the tip smooth on better with minimal air bubbles. Me personally, if I have one or two air bubbles that are not super huge or not at the edge, I'm cool with it. Like, oh, okay, I'll try, better on the next one, but I don't have a heart attack and be like, oh my God, I need to start over. No, it's not that deep. Okay. But if you do have really big air bubbles, mine tend to be towards the free edge because I don't have enough product, or the product is getting stuck and it's not really flowing on its own. Doing that little trick definitely helps. I also like to add the gel and a layer of top coat underneath it. And this is for added strength. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I can't do this all the time because sometimes it'll make the tips crack. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut the nails down to the length I need if I need to cut them. Lately I've been trying to buy tips that are the length that I'm doing so I won't have to do too much extra work. It is more costly to do it that way, but I feel like that convenience helps you in the long run. So I'll do the gel underneath part after this part I'm doing, which is also kind of annoying because then I have to clean up the dust from underneath it. So it really just depends on how I'm feeling, which one I decide to do. I'm using this Sally's file that I got only because that's what I had at the time, and I ran out of my normal 80/80. But I like to use 80/80 because it gets there quicker, gets me the shape I need, so I can also again move faster. That's one thing I do like about Gelx. Once you start getting comfortable with the process, you'll get quicker, because at first when I was trying to do it, I'm like, I could have just did an acrylic full set with this same time. But once you really get used to it, it is quicker. Now I'm taking this cuticle bit. This is also linked in my storefront. I love this bit, like, down. And I'm not going to say I can't do a set without it, but I don't feel confident in my set if I didn't use this afterwards, because it just really gets in the cuticle area really good. You can see, um, so you're less prone to nicking anybody. I feel like once you can see and you're a little bit more comfortable, your work speaks volumes because you're more sure and confident in your art.
I care about drawing. No one cares what part next door. Turn your phone off and turn it to drawing and left me, please. What?
Now, this trick right here is definitely a game changer. And what I'm doing is taking some acetone with a little brush and I'm swiping the acetone around the cuticle area. What this does is melts the plastic to the natural nail, so it leaves you with a very seamless finish. So if you were worried about not sealing your cuticle really good, Do this afterwards, and I promise you, you'll definitely tell a difference. And honestly, I can never skip this step.
Riding with the go getters, riding with intentions. We don't want attention. Since there's more money, then you know there's more protection. Got a little bad bitch on my arm, cause it's never bad for my reflection. You know I need that good weed, good sex, good neck.
Okay, so now it's time for us to apply our polish. And before we can do that, we gotta etch the nails. The Gelx tips come with a shine on them, and again, you don't want to try to put gel polish on top of a shiny surface, because then it'll have a tendency to want to peel off. So go ahead and etch this surface. You can use a regular hand buffer if you would like, or you could just do it how I'm doing, use my sanding band. Whichever one. I don't really think one is faster than the other one. I just prefer to do it like this so I can get nice and tight in the cuticle area.
With a kiss though. Can't believe she out here calling Wi-Fi Wi-Fi. But her mama got her ass, she a peach tree. Only know how to move fast, she 3G. And you never get a fast when I'm too deep. Probably no PG, nigga. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Part of no picture now. Part of no picture now.
So after you've cleaned all the dust off, now it's time to go in and start your set. Now, before you start your whole Gelx process, you need to think about the set your client wants. Now, luckily for me, I was doing a model set, so I already knew what I wanted to do and the steps I needed to take in order to do that. However, if you're freestyling, it could be kind of intimidating looking at a clear blank canvas and not knowing what to do or your next steps. Um, Two things you need to know is one, with Gelx, it's best to like kind of pre-plan, because it's certain designs that are a little bit more difficult, not impossible to do, but a little bit they take a lot more thinking to execute. For example, ombre. Y'all know it's a million ways to do ombre. So with acrylic, you can either do it with the colored acrylic, or you can airbrush it on. And with Gelx, I tend to use my airbrush way more often because I find it easier to do my ombre that way. You can do it with the acrylic powder or the pigment powder way, or you can do it with the sponge way. But I feel like since you're working with a clear base, it's best to go with something that packs a punch. For example, when I did this design, I'm using a white base, but I'm using acrylic powder to put on top of it. What I should have done was use a little bit more pigment than the acrylic powders, because y'all know the acrylic has a lot of clear in it. So sometimes it doesn't show up as bright. And also, I think I cured my white for too long and it didn't really want to stick for real. But yeah, number one, always kind of pre-plan what you're going to do, because it can be kind of intimidating if you need to freestyle. Another thing with Gelx is be mindful of who you put the set on, because even though Gelx is sturdy, it's not as sturdy as acrylic. And some of my clients, their jobs require them to do a lot with their hands. I really wouldn't recommend them do it. They can try it, but acrylic is stronger for that. Right now I'm using hands down the best white gel polish. And this one is by Gelixer. I haven't honestly tried another white that was better than this one. It's very one coat. It gives kind of white out vibes, so it's stark white, not milky white, not translucent. It's white white. And yeah, most of the time I only have to use one coat. Well, not most of the time. Like I only have to use one coat because, to be honest, double coating your French tips adds so much time. So I would prefer to invest in good quality polish and then have to just do it once and be done with it. So imagine how much longer this would have took if I double coated. So these are the colors that I'm using, just showing you guys. Some of those colors were already light to begin with, so once it wasn't really sticking to the white, I kind of had to rub the color in there with my brush. And I just use this random old brush that I have. It's just the bristles are really sprayed out. You can use a makeup brush if you have one. Just a super old fluffy brush that could still pack the color on there.
For every nigga that owe me some.
Also, I forgot to mention, when you're doing this, make sure whenever you're done doing your base colors, so for my case, my nude, I wiped my nails off really good with acetone mixed with alcohol to get off that sticky residue that's left over. Because what's going to happen is when you go to do this step, it won't stick. But if you don't wipe it, it will stick really bad. It's gonna be super annoying, and it's gonna be hard to get it off. So that's one. Also, one thing to remember with Gelx is you always have to paint your nude on, which they actually have some Gelx tips that come pre-colored, and they also have colored extend gel that you can use. I just don't like you doing it that way. I prefer to use the clear tips and go from there. But you have to make sure you wipe that sticky layer off before you do your white so that the powder only sticks to the white. And now I'm just doing this gel design. This gel I got, it came with one of my charms. Like I bought some charms and it came with it. So it doesn't really have no name on it or nothing. But I'm using my French brush really. I find it easier to just do it this way, scoop it right onto the brush, because I used to try to squeeze it onto a palette and then put it on my brush, but it's messier that way. So now I'm just top coating, and yes guys, this is the end of the set. I just go in and tidy everything back up, make sure it's nice and crisp, because sometimes that polish could kind of alter your shape a little. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for still rocking with your girl. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And here are the final results.
Pretty around this time of the year, I can't ignore it. I can only assure it. I've been to New York and I've been to Houston, and nothing's better than you, girl. Came to conclusion.